Are you all set to move toward Texas within August or by the end of 2024? So I've got news, man. I've got news for you, baby. And if anybody wants to hear it, I'll spill the beans. A federal question, low key. I don't think you think asking me about the move is a federal question. I don't know about that. Listen, I'm always down to like call somebody a fed, but I've been talking about this move so much on stream that I'm actually pretty happy that people are asking. You know what I'm excited about the move? Because we didn't finish talking about that topic. I'm excited to just have like a clean office. My wife said she's going to help me a ton, try to keep it organized and managed well, which is nice because my brain just does not operate underneath circumstances of clean, tidy, cleanliness. It's just not, I don't know what it is, gentlemen. Well, I do know what it is. It's the fucking ADHD, bro. My wife comes into my office and she gets stressed out. I'm like, honey, this is how my office has always looked. It doesn't matter what part of my life it is, where I've been at, if it's an apartment with plenty of space or a house with plenty of space. I just find a way to let shit build up and suffocate me in this room. Are you going to bring the same desks and desktops for the new office? So Zerks, that's a great question. Let's talk about it. Real quick, though, I got to say thank you to Rezi. He said, can't wait to see the setup when you get to Texas. Wife and I are currently running a 5-year plan to move down from the Northeast. There you go, brother. You got a plan. Stick to it. Best of luck. I hope it works out however you'd like it to. All right, so for the new setup in Texas, I'll probably bring the same desks. I mean, the plan is right now for the movers to bring everything in this office. The only thing that I would say about the new setup, which gets a little bit more complicated, I would say, is figuring out a way to have like a standing setup, a standing desk and setup, because I would like to be able to have the flexibility to move around and, you know, keep the blood flowing in the whole body throughout the stream. You know, I'm only 31, about to turn 32 in a couple days, but I do think it becomes a little bit more important for me to be, you know, standing up and moving around. I can't be sitting here for 8, 10, 12 hours a day without getting the blood flowing. So we'll see. The only thing that it kind of stumps me when it comes to standing desk setups is that, and I've seen companies that do it pretty well. I think it's called like UpDesk or something like that. Valkyrie had a desk setup in the second content house that we did. She didn't live there full time, but she had a standing desk that was sort of like mine. That's an L desk, which was pretty functional and looked pretty good. So we'll see if I can find something similar to that. The only thing that I'll say now about these custom butcher blocks from Home Depot and Lowe's, I forget exactly which store I got them from. They have a lot of depth to them. You know, like you can be more flexible with how wide they are and the length that they are. Whether they sell it stock at the store or you just have them cut it for you custom. And I just really, really like this space that I have now. So we'll see. I'm recruiting help with from Lowe. You guys know Lowe, who does all the fancy, beautiful, cinematic TikToks, and he streams Valve from time to time too. But he's a part of 100 Thieves. He helped Courage with his setup. And look, man, at the end of the day, bro, I feel like I could set up my office in my room with the help of my wife on my own and be happy with it. But it would be nice to have somebody with like a fresh pair of eyes and some fresh ideas to help me concoct and build like the perfect setup. Like, I don't think I need to do anything too crazy from like a custom company, you know, Scump, the way that he did his room. It looks beautiful, but that was like a lot of custom like woodwork and lighting. And I just don't know if I necessarily want that. You know, I think the setups look best when it has your own sprinkle of style and taste to it. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully me and Lo can cook some shit up with McGowan and my wife and make it look presentable and we're happy with it. But we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. If it's going to be like our forever home and we're going to be there for a while, there's no reason why it can't evolve over time. Like if we move to the new home and after a couple months, I'm just not happy with how it turned out, we can certainly think about overhauling it again. What's great though is that the room that I'm going to be in is much bigger than the room that I'm in now. Not much bigger, but it's definitely got more space. So we got more opportunity, more room to run, I would say. More room to fucking get crazy and be creative. Better AC? Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to have better AC. More room for activities? On God, symbiotes. But yeah, man, so the news is that we're officially going to be moving this month, gentlemen, or in August. So less than a month until we move. We got the movers scheduled. We're going to be in Texas full time by the end of August, gentlemen. I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. I've been waiting on this day for quite some time. I've been trying not to think about it too much over the last couple weeks just because I feel like as you get closer and closer to the thing you want, time seems to have a way of slowing down. And it's like you're in class waiting for... It's like you're in class waiting for the bell to ring to get you out of that period. And the clock is just crawling. So people want to know, man, why Texas? You know, it's tough because I feel like I've talked about it quite a bit on this stream. So I hate to... I mean, I don't mind repeating myself. That's what I've learned. Like when you're streaming consistently full time, you're going to get a lot of the same questions. And so I'll wait for these ads to run. Long story short, gentlemen, it's just better for the family. My wife is originally from Houston, Texas. She still has her family. Her entire family lives in Houston for the most part. And one of the things that I loved about my wife as well is that she has kept in touch, and some of her closest friends to this day are her best friends from like high school and grade school. And so living in Dallas, they're only like a 3.5 hour drive, 3 hour drive. It's kind of like driving from LA to Vegas. Like you don't do it every single month if you're a normal person living out here in Vegas or LA. But the drive isn't that bad. On top of that, they have flights that are like 40 minutes in the air, and you're moving from Houston to Dallas or vice versa in a short period of time. So it'll be great for Gracie. It'll be great for my wife to just have family closer. And then for me, it's kind of like the same thing. My dad lives in Florida. He just retired a couple years ago from working his ass off in Chicago to raise a family. And I'm trying to convince him over time. I don't know if I'll win that battle to move to Texas. You know, I'm happy for my dad, bro. He comes into my chat every day, or he sends me a text about how he's shooting in golf, like what he just scored out on the course. And for me, man, it like truly makes me happy because my dad, he never really got time to like work on his golf game. Like he did his best to teach my brother and I how to play the game. But we definitely didn't have the resources that my dad probably would have liked to have when he was teaching us, you know, with YouTube and all these different websites that you can kind of navigate the golf swing a little bit easier. But he's finally retired, living in Florida, and he's been playing golf, it seems like, almost every single day, and he's made a lot of friends out there, it seems like. They're taking him out to private courses, and I'm just happy for him. So I don't know if I'll, you know, beat the brakes off of the conversation of convincing him to move to Texas, but maybe that's like a long-term plan. Maybe he gets bored as he gets older and he wants to come out here. We'll see. But I still have like my brother and sister up in Illinois. And so a 2 hour flight from Illinois to Texas is just easier. Like, don't get me wrong. If I hadn't made so many like close friends and some of my closest friends living in Texas, maybe Chicago would have been an option, but I feel like Texas is just the perfect compromise between all facets of my life and my wife's life. You know, I still have some of my closest friends out here in California too, but Texas just makes sense for so many different reasons. It's like truly like that settled down moment for my wife and I. We want to have more kids. We've got a bigger house that costs less money. You know, we'll obviously have no state income tax, which is obviously a really big upside. Just as like I continue to build my career on the internet and try to make sure that my family doesn't have to worry about anything for the rest of their lives. Like, that would be a massive achievement. And we're working towards it every single day with every sub that you guys drop in this chat. So I appreciate that more than you know. So I just want to get out of California, man. We've also had a little bit of trouble like at this house and just LA in general. You know, I hate having the conversation on stream because I'm not ignorant to the fact that crime could happen anywhere. It truly can happen anywhere. It's not just one city in the country and that's it. But, you know, about a year ago around this time, somebody broke into my car when it was parked in my driveway. My garage door was broken right before we left for the trip. I wasn't able to get it open, so I just left my car in the driveway. And it was just the worst timing ever. I'm in like Miami on a boat in the middle of the ocean for a wedding. And the house sitter sent me a video. I woke up that morning to a text and there was like a brick through my car window. They took everything out of there. And then I went back. We have cameras all over the property and they tried to get into the house as well. So ever since then, this house and just like LA has been stained and I haven't felt the same in this home since that happened. You know, my wife was like 6, 7, 8 months pregnant, driving at like 7 o'clock in the morning to a doctor's appointment, and some homeless guy at a stoplight was like smashing a shopping cart into the car, trying to get into the car, trying to get the handle open on the Tesla. It lays flush on the door panel and was just like spitting on the windshield, trying to get into the car. There's just been a couple situations that have happened over the course of the last 2 years that now that I have a daughter and a family to protect, I just feel more comfortable not in LA anymore. You know, I'm not saying that there's somewhere in California that we could have lived that would have been a little safer, but Texas just makes sense, man. Especially for, you know, collaborating too. Like, I'm not a big creator that goes out and asks people to like make videos with me, and YouTube is certainly taking a backseat to all this streaming shit and 100 Thieves, obviously. But just having all the guys from OpTic in Texas as well, like, those guys are like my day one friends and family, bro. I don't even say friends, they're family. And so with how much IRL streaming has become such a big part of Twitch and how popular it's become, there's just so many reasons. It's such a compelling opportunity to be living in Texas, not only personally, family oriented, but also professionally as well. So I kind of regret to this day leaving Chicago when I did and leaving OpTic in the manner and fashion that I did. I've talked about this in bits and pieces. I don't regret it entirely, though. I would do it again because if I didn't move to California, I would have never met my wife, and that's the God's honest truth. Like, it's no matter what, brother. I'm telling you guys, you're gonna get older, and I'm still pretty young, all things considered. So I'm not trying to sound like an old man that's lived through highs and lows. You know, if I was in like my 50s and 60s, like, I'm not saying that I'm, you know, war ready or been through it all. But what I have learned is that no matter what, you're going to have regrets in your life. But all you can do is try to make a better decision than you did the last time. I feel like I've closed the chapter on California in my own head. And I'm just excited to get my family out of California to Texas and try to make up for some lost time with Hector, who I fucking love to death. He's like a brother to me. Scump the same way. Embo's. It's been cool hanging out with Zinni again too, and all those folks out there. So Texas just makes a whole lot of sense, man. And if you can't understand that from everything I just explained, then I can't really help you. But don't get it twisted, man. I'm still all in with 100 Thieves. We've been spending the last like 8 months now in the new year, ever since the baby came, with me kind of spending my time a little bit more the way that I think I should spend my time, not working on the business as much day to day, That just became really, really stressful for me. I got really burnt out. We had a lot of ups and a lot of downs over the course of like the last 7 years with 100 Thieves. And I just needed to get back to what I do best. And that's being in front of people every single day. Because when I'm happy, I feel like that bleeds through the business. And 100 Thieves is just in a better place when I'm doing what I'm best at. So I'm going to be coming back and forth between LA for content with 100 Thieves and board meetings and really staying close to the business, but also at an arm's length away so that I can be a fan of the brand as much as I am like an owner and not have as much stress on my shoulders because it makes it really hard for me to create every single day. And I know that could sound dramatic or cliche. Like if you're pessimistic about influencers and streamers and businesses that are built off of this culture, like I know like me saying like I need to be a fan of the brand to like be in love with the brand, but if you've ever started a business, man, you know how difficult it can be to focus on a lot of different things at once. And by nature, man, I'm just not somebody that multitasks well. So I need to be all in on whatever I'm doing. And right now in my head, I think it's best that I'm a creator again and just in front of people making videos and streaming and celebrating 100 Thieves every single day by like the time that I spend on stream. So we'll see. We'll see, man. That's the rundown.